What is up, YouTube? And today we have the preview for the new character that is coming on the banner after Kyle's. It is Kyrielle. You can see that she's on the left here. She looks absolutely amazing. She kind of like my style in terms of character design. She has these chains as well. I'm not really too sure where she fits in the lore, but it kind of reminds me of Kyle, and her name is Kyrielle. So maybe the female version of Kyle in a sense, in terms of design. But you're gonna see that her skill kit looks absolutely crazy. So the first thing that they show is her passive, Festival of Stars. It's going to be a damage nullification on herself, so the stuff that like Tio and Yunny has, which makes them super annoying. Same thing with Kyle when you have 3 attack characters. She also has a speed-based attack boost, Guts, and also Barrier when Guts activates. So pretty much a copy and paste from Colt's passive. And she also gives all allies magic damage increase. So she will be a magic character used on magic teams. And she kind of just looks like a magic version of Colt, because that passive is just extremely OP, and you know, Colt has like pretty much the same thing. And if you guys don't know what Colt's passive actually is, or you don't really know what Kyrielle's passive will do, so the Guts active here, you'll see this Guts icon. When you actually take lethal damage, so when you're about to die, you survive with 1 HP. Then you'll also get a barrier. Colt's scales with her physical attack. I assume Kyrielle's will scale with the magic attack. This is a pretty huge barrier, so you know, when you get hit low, it's basically like a cheat death, which is very strong. And the speed-based attack boost is going to be just that. If you stack a lot of speed on this character and use it as like a speed gear holder, then you're just still getting a lot of attack. And this makes Colt extremely powerful because she's able to be built on just like random pieces, and you don't really care too much about stats. You do eventually will want to put her on like Avenger, but you just want to build her fully on speed to help boost your team speed so you can take the first turn. And she still does a ton of damage while also doing just a ton of AoE CC and just being very, very annoying with her bombs. And if you want to see how prevalent Colt is in the current PvP meta, you'll see I use her in my team. The person above me is also using her. We're running 2 different setups, by the way. I'm running a physical team. This person is running a magic team. You can see above, we probably have another one. We have another Colt. We have another Colt. We have another Colt. We have another Colt. You can kind of see that she is just pretty much everywhere in the meta. So basically, Kyrielle is the magic Colt. I still think Colt will probably be better just looking at the passive, because Kyrielle is very limited to the magic teams, where a Colt can be used in both. But then again, I'm thinking about it. What if you just use them together? Holy, that's going to be so annoying. You just have 2 super fast characters that are able to do a ton of damage, that have Guts and Barrier. And Colt, which also has CC, is very annoying. And if Kyrielle ends up having CC, which she will, which you'll see, she could also be a very powerful character. So that's her passive ability. Looks very, very strong. Next up, we have one of her skills. It's going to be Regulus. This is a single target attack. It removes all debuffs from herself, and this will also do extra damage based off of the numbers of debuffs removed. So this looks pretty good. I don't know how much damage it does because they didn't show us. But the thing is, with this ability, it's kind of weird because you can't use this when CC'd, right? So you can't cleanse CC off yourself. So debuffs that are usually on you that are like game ending are going to be crowd control, like stuns, paralysis, shock, and stuff like that from like, you know, petrifies even from Kagura. But the thing is, with something like, you know, what's her name, Kyrielle, she can't actually cleanse it off herself, the CC. What I think is going to be her main usage in cleansing for herself is going to be something like Soul Death, because Jury is like everywhere in the PvP meta, but Kyrielle doesn't have a built-in revive. However, I will say, you're probably going to end up running her on a revive ring. You can see my Colt is on a revive ring. It makes the combination of having built-in Guts really broken with the revive ring. So they're kind of just tuning the character's cleansing ability to revolve around her having the revive ring, which is really interesting because this revive meta, this Guts, Barrier, revive bullshit meta is so annoying, and they're just kind of adding on to it. So I think for sure you're gonna put her on that setup, and then she'll end up removing some, you know, soul deaths, because usually what people end up doing is they use their CC, then they soul death, and you know, you can now cleanse it off. But I guess like even then, if you get stunned before the soul death, you can't take it off. So I'm not really too sure what this is going to dispel. Maybe death? I don't know. But very interesting. I don't think it's going to be like the best thing in her kit, but you know, it's an interesting suggestion. Maybe I'm missing something. You guys can let me know down below. But I think her biggest ability is going to be the meteor shower. So one, this animation looks really badass, but also you're going to notice if I go back, this is the skill 1. The meteor shower is an all target piercing attack. So stuff like, you know, what Tio has, where it'll go through just like damage and vulnerabilities. And it also has an AoE paralysis. And I just want to show you guys this animation. This looks absolutely amazing. Devs really cooked on this one. Look at this. Wow. Holy, I didn't even notice the lion in the background. That's pretty badass. This better do a lot of damage. But it is an AoE CC. It's going to be pretty strong. And, you know, she looks like a pretty cool character, I'm not going to lie. But that AoE CC, honestly, kind of reminds me of something like if I can find the character, I think I have him on this, right? Yeah, I do. Yushin, because, you know, Yushin's another paralysis, AoE paralysis character. Obviously, I think the piercing damage is going to make the skill from Kyrielle do way more damage. But, you know, Yushin also has this AoE paralysis and 45% chance to land, you know, pretty consistent, I'd say. And just having like any super hard hitting ability with the CC is just really broken, right? Can you imagine if like Yushin or even like a Kagura's like CC ability did like a ton of damage, right? That'd be super OP. In fact, we have a character like that already in Yunhee. So she kind of reminds me of like a fast Yunhee Yushin like Colt hybrid. You know, she's able to CC off the opener, do a ton of damage, and I guess dispel some random debuffs she might get. And the best part is she does have that speed-based attack boost. So you just make her fast, you put her on like whatever set, and she also has guts for survivability, and she's going to do a ton of damage and CC you. That sounds absolutely crazy to me. I think she's going to be an absolute menace in PvP. So what do I actually think about her in terms of if you want to pull for her? I think that if you are a PvE player, you don't focus on PvP at all, or you're new to the game, she's probably not going to help you at all, honestly, because she looks strictly like a Guild Wars PvP character. And also, if you look at her skills, right, we'll go once again, like she has one AoE ability in this skill 2 with Meteor Shower. The other one in her S1, her skill 1, is single target. So it's not going to really help you with what a lot of people want, which is like farming. And in terms of PvE content, I think she's not going to be good at all, because you might as well bring Yunhee instead of her as DPS, and Yunhee will be a lot better. And just her entire skill set screams to me PvP only. So in terms of if she's worth pulling for, honestly, for PvP, she looks absolutely crazy strong, but for PvE, probably not. So if you guys are hurting on rubies and summons, and you're still progressing through the game, you can probably just end up skipping her and just get her from the wish list or 7k chest later on, because she won't really help you in your account progression. But for the people that are done with PvE and getting into Guild Wars and pushing for higher arena ranks and waiting for the new arena content, she looks like an absolute must pull, because she looks absolutely amazingly strong, and also her design is pretty cool as well. So we'll have to see about her numbers though. Like this could all get derailed if her numbers are complete dog shit, and like her paralysis chance is really bad and stuff like that. But I think just looking at her passive especially, and her second skill, it doesn't really matter what her skill 1 was because her passive and her skill 2 like absolutely crazy. So yeah, curious what you guys think about her. Let me know in the comments down below. I will post another video later on today when the numbers get released with the update notes, probably right before the maintenance starts, so you guys can wait for that. But for now, I think she's a must pull for me, and for you guys out there, I'm just curious what you guys think. And like I said, in the comments, let me know. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe if you want to see more 7 Nights content. And I will see you guys next time.